Welcome back to Soul Talk. That was Stephen Garrett. And we have Kerri on the line now.
Kerri Kannan, I have to stand corrected. I've been calling Kerri Kannan for like 3 months now.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Hi, thank you for having me.
It's wonderful that you're on. I'm so happy you're with us on Skype. It's a wonderful program that I don't use quite often enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start using it. Kerri and I met on Facebook. In February? Was it February?
I'm not I know it was cold.
It's been a blur. It's been a blur since then. So it's been so busy.
It's only cold like 2 months in Florida, so.
She's a life coach and a spiritual teacher in New York, and she's got a lot of cool things going on. She's got a new program that she's advertising about manifesting abundance, I believe.
Yep.
She is the writer. You're an author of a book, if I'm correct, but I know you're an author of several blogs, and she's had a pretty cool life. And if I remember, you used to live down in the Cayman Islands.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So she said, I'm going to let her. We're going to talk a little bit about. We're going to talk about her life, but she's just a really cool lady and a really extraordinary person. I'm glad to have her on the show.
One of the many inspirations.
Thank you.
So,
I'm glad to be here.
So, Kerri, I'm talking for you, but like, tell me about the program and what you're doing with the manifesting.
Well, I created something called a program called Shatter the Limiting Beliefs that block financial flow. And really what that is about is, my whole life, I thought I had everything going on. I thought I had my prosperity consciousness in, alignment and everything. But what I didn't realize was that basically my entire life I had been dependent upon somebody else. And really it wasn't my prosperity consciousness that was keeping me there. It was, it was in a way, but it was more sheer luck. I was just very, taken care of. And what happened was last year I was in the middle of, or last year and the year before, I was sort of in the middle of some financial difficulties in court with my ex-husband, and I ultimately lost everything, including my house. I had to go bankrupt, and I had to move into a much smaller place, and I realized that it wasn't my outstanding prosperity consciousness that was keeping me floating all along. It was, that I was really dependent upon other people. And I realized that I needed to heal my relationship with money, because otherwise I was in deep doo-doo. So what I did was I started really getting very intimate and very honest with myself, and finding where all of my really lack consciousness was and my dependency. And I started using my process, my Uncovering the Divine Within process, which is in my book and a workbook, and also EFT, which I use to incorporate that. And I started on this huge journey of forgiveness of both my ex-husband for doing this, for the judge, because what happened was, in my agreement with my ex-husband, it said that I would always have a certain level of child support that I can use to support my children, and he actually went back on that, and I was just all of a sudden left needing to be completely financially independent and not knowing how the heck to do that, because that had never happened before, because I always either had my parents or an employer or my husband, who then became my ex-husband. So it was really scary, but I was able to release a huge amount of the baggage that stood in the way. And I realized that a lot of people are in the same situation where there are these blocks and you don't know how to get rid of them because it's been something that's been with you your whole life. So I realized that I needed to create a program to help people get out of it. And that's what I did.
That is incredible. That sounds... Your story is a lot deeper by means of mine. You have more experience with, marriage, finances, but I can definitely agree with you that independence is something that helps you open up to new possibilities and feelings and emotions that you never knew you even needed or had inside of you.
Absolutely.
I actually just started reading the workshop yesterday. and you can download it for free on Kerri's website, and it's excellent. So what actually got you geared up to completely write a workshop or workbook for spiritual guides?
Are you talking about the Uncovering the Divine Within workbook?
Yes.
Well, that, before we get any further, I just want to make clear that although things are going on with myself and my ex-husband, he's actually my greatest gift. He's my greatest teacher because he is the one person who, as much as I really would love to see him rendezvous with something big and large while he's driving a car sometimes, he's really the person in my life who pushes me to claim my greatness, because we have children together, so I can't just kind of excommunicate from the guy. But anyway, going back to your question, he, at one point after we got married, he was making about 6 times more than me. And he said, why don't you quit your job and do what you really want to do? Figure out what you really want to do. And I was like, wow, what an amazing gift. So I didn't want to do what necessarily came easy to me. I wanted to do what was fulfilling. And I read What Color is Your Parachute, and I found out what would be what I was most naturally geared towards. But that wasn't satisfying my yearning and my question. What I wanted to know was what one thing can grow with me and be fulfilling for the rest of my life. And I eventually came across an article titled Your Special Function According to A Course in Miracles. And in that article, this man, his name is John Snodgrass, stated that your special function is the exact opposite of whatever you perceive to be the reality of your guilt, sin, or victimization. In other words, what is missing is your gift, your weakness is your strength, and your special dysfunction is your special function. So I thought about that for a minute. And I always had body image stuff going on. And I said, what's my special dysfunction? And I said, I'm fat. And I was like, no, that's not really it. I don't like myself. And I was like, no, that's not really it either. I don't love myself. And when I came across that realization, I started jumping up and down my living room, thanking everybody who had ever hurt me, because I realized in that instant that everybody who hurt me, those were experiences that I had drawn to myself to show me the context, to understand the content of my thinking. And what I had to do was I had to shift my thinking in order to have a different experience.
That's perfect. Wow. I think I did the exact same thing, and I just started dancing.
Yeah, that's what happens. It's like, woohoo!
That clip that you get in your mind, and that emotion that just rushes through you when you feel that.
Yeah,
I know. I immediately started texting Jeremy.
So this happened to you after you read the workbook?
Oh no, this happened quite a few months ago.
Oh, okay.
Most of my realization experiences happened after I met Jeremy. Soon after.
Okay.
There's about a minute left. We're going to wrap up this segment, come back after a song.
And I want to stick on the subject when we get back, so about,
of course.
Because I think this is a really cool subject, and I want to talk a little bit more about a couple other things that go along with those lines. So
we'll be back with more Still Talk. Stay tuned.